So Matt came in early today to catch my morning routine. It's a rest day for me today. And it's not a typical morning routine because I'd normally be done by now. I had to wait for Matt because he didn't want to get up early. That's true.
No, it's not.
That's true.
You said, hey man, I'm going to do something different.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to do something different. If you weren't coming, I wouldn't do anything different. So, your fault. Anyway, I'd normally be done by now on this. But imagine, just change the timestamp. So this is like 5:30 a.m. It's actually not, it's like 7:30. But that's okay because my rest day drags a little bit. Any of you guys that diet know your training days are more fun. There's usually a little more food, and training occupies more of your day, and it's the bit we like. So rest days are a little tedious, so I don't mind stretching out the morning. Meal one will go in about an hour later than usual, and that'll just help me manage the fact that my calories are very low at this point, which is all good. That's the point. So woke up, started drinking this, had a black coffee, had a clap on a bong, smoking a pipe, and got a little bit of work done, some check-ins and whatnot. So cardio is low impact. My body fat's pretty low at this point, so legs are getting pretty tired. So I'm just using steps more so at this point than recovery. I have slowed down a little bit just so I can deal with Matt's shit and I can talk. Normally I go a little faster, but actually it's not so bad. So I'll get about 12,000 steps in today. We're gonna finish up here. I'm probably gonna do about 30 minutes. So another like 5 or 10 or so. And then because it's daylight now, I'll get the dogs out on a short walk. Oh shit, no I won't. I gotta do glutes, abs, and stretch, then take the dogs out on a walk. Then we're gonna do a little bit of recovery and rehab work, shower up, meal one. So that'll be the morning process. I'll run you through it. What I like to do, I'll try and explain why I like to do it. And actually on my rest days, a lot of my morning recovery and routine is mental therapy for me, honestly. I know a lot of you will resonate in routine and schedule are very therapeutic for us, right? And it's something that I lost. Like a lot of people asking, like, why are you dieting? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Honestly, it's structure. I went from retiring from competitive bodybuilding to throwing a bit of a fucking sulk about it. Obviously, my health was in a position where I wasn't able to push like I wanted to. So I just went the other way and kind of really just backed off training. I trained enough that I could kind of keep up and do something, but honestly, I fell out of love a little bit with it. And because I lost that structure, just found myself in a mentally wishy-washy up and down space, and I'd have periods where I'd feel okay, but I was having to work at it, and then other times where I'd just be struggling. And, you know, coming out to the gym had lost all of its allure to me and excitement. So it's nice to have all of that back and more. So I'm very lucky that my health is, I say, corrected itself, and I'm back to a point where I am healthy and improving. And that's allowed me to let myself get back into the structure. And I'm not pushing anything in terms of a competitive bodybuilding sense that way to where I'm gonna end up back in the same spot. And the issues I had were actually, we did a kidney, for those of you that care, this is a ramble, huh? Fuck you know, I'm sorry. For those of you that care, I had a kidney damage. Well, it turns out it was an autoimmune attack on my kidneys. So it wasn't anything bodybuilding related. I still have some scarring and residue, so I have to be careful and mindful and be very healthy with things. So it put me in a really, really good space. Let's say mentally, physically, I feel the best I have in years, and having the love and passion back to be in here, it comes from routine. It just does. when I don't have routine, and I'm not the only one, I know all of you are the same. When I don't have routine, everything else just falls apart. Like, there's a good quote I heard, it's like, you can't take care of the people around you until you've taken care of yourself. And it's very true. So as a father and husband, I try to put bodybuilding on the back burner and focus on the family. But the problem with me is that doesn't fulfill me in a way that I can then be there for them. So I have to do what I need to do and center myself. Fuck, it sounds gay, huh? I gotta center myself. But I have to do that, and then I can be the person that I need to be for them. It's the same thing, like you're on an airplane and the gas masks come down, what do? They tell you to put yours on first, right? Because if you can't breathe, how are you gonna save anyone else? So that's my justification for being a selfish bodybuilder. But yeah, it's all good fun, I feel good, I'm happy. And that's why I'm doing this, because without it, I'm a little lost. I don't have to do it to the level of the guys that I coach or am friends with or hang around with. That's competitive bodybuilding, right? That's high level professional competitive bodybuilding. You don't have to get on stage ever to be a bodybuilder. And I think I've mentioned that before. I kind of blurred the line, right? I'm like, unless I can get on stage and be like really competitive, fuck it. I kind of got so far down that path. So it's nice now to be like, just gonna bodybuild. Like, I want to because I want to, not because I'm gonna compete and not because I'm gonna try and be the best I can be. I found the passion back in the progress and the work, you know, so it's nice. Matt wants to know why I'm doing abs and glutes. So for me, why I'm doing them after cardio. So for me, like, consistency is it's an easy opportunity for me to make sure I hit them every single day, right? I'm gonna come out here and do my cardio. So if I allocate cardio time, I'm also made it a habit to allocate time to stretch after that cardio. It's built into my morning time. And then glutes, because like we were saying, are a weak body part for me in terms of my development when I pose. And for me, like I say, I want to bodybuild and round off my physique in all poses. So I really like when a guy has a lagging body part, I like to touch it frequently but correctly. So it doesn't have to be a lot. I'm only going to do 3 sets here. Actually, I'm only going to do 2 sets. One warm-up set and then 2 kind of work sets. And I'm only really, it's going to be decently heavy. I'm not really going like crazy progressive overload. I am just greasing the groove, right? I'm getting that movement pattern, that mind muscle connection grooved every day. So for me, these sets aren't going to be like balls out, fucking intensifiers and whatnot. They're going to be hard sets, but the main focus is going to be contracting the muscle and wiring my brain to that muscle, right? So if I had weak hamstring, actually I do have a weak hamstring. So once I've done with the glutes, the next phase I'll hit hamstrings. I don't want to spend too long out here and end up doing a full fucking workout, right? So I have to pick and choose my battles of what I want to bring up during certain phases. So right now, glutes are a bigger priority. I hit hamstrings twice a week anyway, and then I hit glutes every morning for, let's say, they're my 2 weak body parts. So the grease in the groove is a really good technique. It's actually something I learned from powerlifting of getting better at my deadlifts. So I would keep a bar on the gym floor that had a 45-pound plate aside, and pretty much every time I walked past it, I would do 5 to 10 deadlifts and move on. And then that way, I just got grooved into that movement pattern. It was a light enough weight, but heavy enough that I still had to do the right technique, but it just greased that groove. And it meant that every time I walked up to a bar to deadlift, it just felt natural. It became an easy lift for me, right? And so I like that same principle for bringing up a weak body part. Because typically speaking, the reason your body part is weak is not because you don't train it necessarily frequently enough. I know I spoke about frequency, but the frequency isn't the key. The key is building that mind-muscle connection. And so repetition of that and frequency of good repetitions will help me build that mind-muscle connection. Once I have that mind-muscle connection really locked in, then I can start reducing the frequency and ramping up the intensity and start really working the muscle and developing density then. That's where that comes. So that's what I'll say. You want to bring up a body part, increase the frequency daily so that you're greasing the groove with a moderate weight that you can really key in on. And then once you've got that mind-muscle connection, then you can start your progressive overload and start building the dense tissue. So that's why I am looking for full physique development, and my glutes are lacking. So we do what we're going to do. I actually like this movement a lot. I typically stick to this one for my morning glute work, and then when I train glutes on my back day, I'll actually do like a weighted 45-degree hyperextension, which I think I posted before on my Instagram. I normally just have like a barbell on that 45-degree, just a plate aside, up and squeeze through lower back and glutes, dominant. Hamstrings get involved too, don't mind that. So that's normally my heavier movement over there that I'll train, say, on back days. So next one will be Friday. It's Tuesday today. Is it? It's Wednesday. It's Tuesday, yeah. Normally my rest days are Wednesdays, but the kids had plans for the weekend, so we change and adjust. So yeah, I really like this this movement. And again, like I say, I'm not going crazy heavy. Like I could probably do, well, I can do heavier, but we're aiming for engagement. So that's all I'm thinking about, is squeezing that muscle in the glute and making sure I feel it where I need it. And I'll probably hit 10 to 12, making sure I feel every single rep where I want it from the bottom through. Boy. So I hit legs on Sunday, 2 days ago, and I'm sore everywhere. The hamstrings are not enjoying that. So there is still some hamstring engagement here. So like I said, I'm trying to develop glutes, and then the next one will be, I'll move on to a phase of hamstring work. But this movement here, obviously secondary muscle group is going to get involved when the glutes get tired, which they get tired pretty quick. And that's one of the reasons I like touching them every day, because then I'm not doing multiple sets and crazy amount of volume on it. I get to spread it out through the week. And right now, because the glutes are underdeveloped and weak, they feel it. My legs are tired as fuck from the other day. It's good though, that's enough. That's honestly, that every morning, plus the extra actual working sets. You add that in, let's say, to any weak lagging body part you have, you'll be good to go. You gotta specialize, and I always say to my athletes, when you try and chase two rabbits at the same time, you catch neither. It's the same thing with this, like, in anything really, like a lean bulk. Shut up, just get big. And then like when you diet down, that's your focus, body fat. Like have clear goals, have clear specific targets that you're trying to achieve within a set period of time and achieve them. If you half-ass it or try and go somewhere in the middle, you're gonna spin your wheels. So pick a direction, have a clear timeline of things that you're going to do and allocate that, stick to it for that timeline, then assess, and then either repeat if you need to or move on to the next thing. Always make assessments. If you're trying to be a critical bodybuilder, whether that's, you know, to compete or just have your best physique, really structure how you're gonna map that out over the next year, what that looks like over 3 years, what that looks like over 5 years. I think if you can loosely plan a 5-year, like where you want your physique to go, you're gonna have a much better chance of achieving it. And also you're not gonna rush and get greedy. I've seen a lot of guys start making progress because they're doing things the right way. And it's human nature, right? To, well, 1 + 1 = 2. So 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. So, and then you end up just getting carried away. That's where you end up taking crazy amounts of cycles or eating too much food and, oh, I'm growing, it's calories. There's a limit to everything. So map it out, have a game plan, stick to that game plan, be critical, assess it, but don't overthink it and don't not have fun. Like if you're not that kind of guy, don't try and be that. If you're not a logbook guy, don't try and be that. Just make sure you're having fun in here, otherwise what's the fucking point, man? I wish I had stretched more when I was a kid, not kid, when I was younger and up and coming, when I was bodybuilding and competing. I probably stretch at the minute. I do twice a day minimum, right? So right now, and then before bed, I'll also spend another 30 or 40 minutes stretching in front of, like, Denise and I will put like Netflix on or some crap, right, late at night. And then I'll just get on the floor with my, I've got a lacrosse ball, so I'll roll on that thing. And then I'll stretch. And honestly, like my training and recovery, if I don't do it, I really suffer. I'm stiff, I'm sore, I'm old as shit, my arthritis hurts. But if I stretch and roll consistently, it's always consistency, huh? It's always the fucking answer. But if I stretch properly and roll properly, my training feels so much better. Fucking posing practice is so much easier because I'm not having to fight to get in position, you know, so I'm not wasting energy against my own tightness. I have range of motion and mobility to be able to get myself into position, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not gassing out posing anywhere near like I used to, because to get into a back double and externally rotate, I have that range of motion now, whereas I didn't before. So I'd be like cranking, everything would be like fighting against each other, and I'm just wasting energy. I've got relatively flexible for where I used to be anyway. It's like I used to hate stretching best because I did it like once a week and like, oh, I'm not doing that again.
Stretching burns, dude.
Yeah, but it's less so now. Like I say, the more anything, right? The more frequency, the more repetitions, the more consistency you have with anything, the easier it gets. It's like everyone always asks what the secret is. I'm sorry, it's like anything. It's just discipline and repetition and consistency. Like that's the major secret. Regardless of what you eat, take, do, fuck it. Like whether it's basketball, hockey, golf, reading, writing, cooking, you gotta practice. You gotta do more of it more often and get better and practice better. You can't practice shit, you gotta improve. Taking the dogs out. We actually try and get out around this time, just after sunrise, because otherwise it starts getting a little too hot, and my chunky guy down here and me do not like it hot. Whereas Moose, the hound, he don't give a shit. That dog is yeah, so I'll do this walk every morning, at least take him down to the bottom of the cemetery there and back up. more for them than me. But when I want to push my diet, then I'll walk them a little further, or I'll do another one. Like tonight, I might go take them out again and do that same walk. Oh yeah. But it's pretty quiet road, so it's kind of like I don't bring my phones on with me. Bring the dogs out, get some peace before the madness. Because once I get in, I'm back to well, once I've showered and eaten, then it's check-ins and athlete work all morning. So normally when I'm doing some cardio, I would get to some check-in stuff, and I did most of my stuff, the early stuff I did this morning before you came in, because you were in my timing schedules. So yeah, but that way, like I say, we're coming up on what? Oh, 6,000. I don't know what, 6,400 steps before 8 a.m. I'll try and get a nap in after this. I'm getting tired. It's hard work, this walking. It's such a hard life.
That's why no one does.
Such a hard life. Yeah, no one can do what I do. I feel like David Goggins right now.
Yeah, basically.
Basically Goggins. Imagine that. You're complaining about walking for 12,000 steps in a day, and Goggins runs 200 miles non-stop.
No.
You go, well, there's a kind of different level of like pain tolerance or perception on what hard is.
Dude, I just did all that backwards.
Oh my goodness. I've got a medal at home I can give you for
thanks.
that. Yeah.
I deserve one, actually.
But yeah, it's funny. Like bodybuilding is hard because it's so on all the time, right? It's not hard. It's just staying on all the time can wear you down, and the fatigue builds up, right? And that's one thing, you know. Okay, well, it's only 12,000 steps, and Goggin ran 200 miles. He didn't run 200 miles like day after day, obviously. It wasn't. It's that wearing down, like when you're in a diet, or even in off season, and you're pushing either food up or you're pushing your output in the prep when your cardio is high and calories are low. It's the cumulative fatigue that really wears you down, and actually something that I really like doing with my guys now is if we're going to do, say, like a prep, and so any of you guys that are trying to diet, build in a week halfway through the prep where you can scale back at least one time during the prep and drop off a lot of that, and you'll find actually you don't have to keep digging into the well. If you give yourself that little diet break, bring yourself up to like a maintenance calories, and just drop all your cardio for a week or so, don't train, really let the body rest and not put body fat on, I promise you, you'll make the second half of your prep significantly easier than it needs to be. So that's a little tip for you. You don't always have to just keep banging your head against the brick wall. Sometimes you got to pull back, and knowing when to do that is not easy. It's tricky because we're hardwired to go hard, and then when things don't always play out, our response is to go harder. Sometimes it's not the best way to do things, and that's where having an eye or a coach comes into play and has their value. So, yeah, unless you can be super analytical, and then that's brutally hard when you're tired and hungry. Yeah, that wraps up the morning walk. We'll go hop in, do some contrast therapy stuff, and then go eat. Like I say, rest day is sauna and contrast. On training days, I don't. So this is what I'd normally do. I'd come in and do this. I'm actually going to take it into the sauna with us. It's my like morning digestion drink, I guess people know of, or I've seen me do. I know Neil kind of put it out there to the masses on his videos. He was doing my digestion drink. So I'll talk you through it. So in here, I've got actually a scoop of Silo 9 essential amino acids hydration in there. So I've got a half scoop. In fact, let me do a full scoop of that. I put a half in, so another half scoop. I'm probably going to split this into 2 shaker cups because I'll probably get through it in, I'm going to be at 40 minutes in the sauna, 220s. So, pure aloe gel. Again, this is already geared up for good digestion. I eyeball this. I like a good amount of aloe. I'd say it's about an ounce, 2 ounces. I'll come back to this. Apple cider vinegar. Everybody knows very well about the digestive benefits. Helps with lowering blood glucose too, which mine obviously doesn't need lowering, but with insulin sensitivity, etc. I like a good amount of that too. Lemon juice. Again, I like where I can, and my stuff's organic. I just believe in good quality, high quality food and nutrition. And then this is my newest addition. I actually had some organic ginger juice, and it's been really helping. I actually do a couple of these a day. In the evening, I'll do a lemon and ginger tea. So I'll just get some hot water, put these two in it, and actually do a half a scoop of sweetener in it. That, when you're hungry in the evenings, goes a long way.
So I was gonna say a little goes longer with that ginger, huh? It's probably strong.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm going to split it up into 2, and then whoa, am I Spider-Man? And then cod liver oil. Chuck that in there too. Make sure if you got these liquids, I made this mistake. Shake them every time you use them. I used it one time. I got all the way down to the bottom. Used the whole thing every day like this. And I would like give it a swirl, but you gotta like give it some jazz, right? Because otherwise, I had this real thick stuff. So I got to the bottom like this, turned it like this, and this like gel fell out. It's like paste of fish oil, and I was like, well, I guess that was a waste of fucking a month. So give it a good old shake, let it be gloopy. I just dumped that shit in there. Cool. Jobs are going. Where's the lid? Where'd you put the lid, Matt? Honestly, like, I'm going to bed and I'm tracking my weight and whatnot right before bed. I'm flushing between 8 to 10 pounds a night.
A fluid, huh?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's like I'm peeing like 6 times. I'm at that point, and anyone that's dieted knows what I'm talking about. You go for a piss and you just sit. So a 30-second piss in the middle of the night takes me 7 minutes because I piss for 30 seconds and then I sit on the toilet with my eyes closed, or I stare at the floor for another 5.5 until I'm like, okay, time to move. And then I move. Okay, so we are in my barrel sauna. We're actually lucky. I say we're not lucky. We're not fucking lucky at all. So I had a tent sauna, little pop-up one of the wood stove over the back there, and then our town got hit with a tornado like 3-4 months ago now, and it ruined everything. So it tore a bunch of stuff up. So it picked the sauna up and tossed it into wherever. So we replaced it with this, so we were very lucky. This thing is amazing, very, very convenient, and something that I really truly believe in. I think it's been a big help in health for me, and also mental. Like Dornice and I will come and sit in here and just hang out and just chat for a bit. You know, it's like a nice time for us to be away from the world. You know, it's all about how you enter into a situation with a positivity and viewing yourself in a positive way rather than down speaking yourself, and having a positive speak about internal dialogue about the situation you're going into. So I don't have to wake up and do cardio. I get to wake up and do my cardio. I have an opportunity. I'm walking, right, and my legs are heavy. I'm like, oh, and you just reframe things like, I didn't have this opportunity to do this, or I thought it had been taken away from me, or, you know, you're tired in the gym and you don't want to do the next step. It's like, I didn't think I was ever going to be able to do this again. And so I respect it and kind of honor that ability to do that more now. And I have a different perspective, I have a positive perspective. And so none of it's hard anymore. Like I used to suffer, you know?
I'd be in that diet and hungry, and it would be like, I'd be grumpy about it, you know? Like, why the fuck was I grumpy about it? Like, you're choosing to do it. Not only are you choosing to do it, you'll understand someday that you got to do it. Right? You had the opportunity to do that. And that's something that a lot of us take for granted and get lost in the woe is me feeling. I'm like, man, someday you're gonna be old. Someday you're gonna be dead. You ain't gonna get this day back. Like, this is your, and if you're taking it seriously, this is your life's work, right? So showered up, clean. I'm OCD. I told you last time, I have to shower before I do anything after I'm gross and sweaty. So meal one's going in. A little bit different today. I'm gonna blend it, make it into a big smoothie that's gonna fill me up nice. So this is the new Heritage shirt, I believe.
I think so. Wild guess.
It's either Heritage or Forever. We got 4 new designs coming out. You will see this. We do this one in black, this color, and there's one other.
Grape.
Anyway, maybe grape.
I think it's the grape one.
Anyway, they're over there. They're awesome. So keep an eye out. They're gonna drop soon. Yeah, this is probably my favorite one. That's why I put it on. Actually, I got excited. So I've got my 300 ml of egg whites in there, and then I put a scoop of, I got this Customs greens powder that I get from, it's actually True Nutrition. We don't do a greens powder. When we do, I'll use our one. For now, I do a custom made one. So this has alfalfa, chlorella, spirulina, and kale. So I do 30 grams of this, and it does make it taste like grassy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice. I don't know, it's got a nice flavor to it. It's an acquired taste, but I have a strange palate, as you guys are learning. And then I'm gonna put frozen blueberries in there. That's the key again, frozen. We gotta turn this thing into a slushy. All right, we are gonna put in 10 grams of glutamine. Again, this is really good for your gut lining. It's one of the main amino acids that the body uses to rebuild the gut. We're going Rocky Balboa style. Look at this fucking shit. And the trick to this, so there's 2 things I like adding to shakes. Either, if you're allowed to, like in terms of your calories and whatnot, fats. So everyone's on a creamy kick, right? We do a creamy here and there. If you get some fats, I switch my fats out from almond butter, which, don't get me wrong, tastes fucking amazing. But I switched it to macadamia oil or olive oil. Yeah. And then you blend that in and it goes creamy as fuck. Especially if it's icy, it kind of crystallizes and goes creamy. Mm-hmm. You spin it an extra time. Telling you. Now you can tell man's dieting, right? All right, so that there is a thick shake. So I got most of that off. And then that'll fill me up a real good amount for a solid couple of hours. My body's gonna be working through that sludge. So, but that's meal 1, and that's a wrap. That's my morning. It's a little slower today because it's a rest day. Like I say, normally I'm an hour off of that because we did a bunch of contrasting and whatnot. So breaks my day up a little bit, but now pound this, get to work. Subscribe, click the link, tickle the bell.
Why do you say tickle the bell?
Because that's what you do, the bell end.
Oh.
Fucking hell, I've been saying that.
I've never called